What up, everyone? This is Mr. Lord, Dr. Professor, Dark Joker, here with another edition of Traditional Fans with Opinions, where I'll give my reviews for whoever I watched, read, or played today. And who are Traditional Fans with Opinions? That is myself, and that is you, the viewers. With all that being said, on with the reviews. Duck Dynasty, The Revival, Season 1, Episode 8. So, in this one, Duck Commander is holding the yearly talent show. So everyone's preparing for it. So Corey's idea is to have her and Willie, um, do a dance for the talent show. And so Corey hires these TikTok people named Costin Mayer. I have no idea who they are. Never heard them until this episode. And I'll probably forget them, forget who they are, like in a little while, because I don't care about TikTok. So, you know, we've seen how the two of them danced in the original show, or attempted to dance. Not that I have much to say about that. And Sadie gets a laugh out when she walks in them trying to practice. And so then we also have John, Luke, and Cy trying to come up with a puppet show to do like the life of Cy. Basically, it's just something that happens in Cy's life. So John Luke's idea first is to do finger puppets because there are going to be kids there. Cy basically says something lines of if he saw finger puppets, he would have the urge to like shoot the fingers off. So Sai's idea is to go to some taxidermist that he knows and have them make puppets out taxiderm, like make taxidermy puppets, which I admit is actually an interesting idea, and that actually sounds like a market. That's an untapped market in my opinion. And so then John Luke has Bella help out because to help, I guess, with the puppets, like manage them because he only has two arms, and he hopes Sai stays on script. Now it's Sai. We know he has to stay on script, and so he does they tell it. Sai, I guess, actually makes it a lot shorter than they thought. Basically, it's about Sai getting a B minus on a report, which I think it's safe to say that's probably the most fictional part of it is him getting a B minus. I mean, who knows? Sai may have been a good student. I don't know. But yeah, but that bit was just funny. The taxidermy puppets, honestly, I think that is from a business standpoint, that is actually a good idea. Now, what happens is that Zane, I believe that's the kid's name, that's so one of Rebecca and John Reed's kids. So John Shepard, who is like John Luke's son and is younger than Zane, is knows how to ride bike well, but Zane still struggles with it, and Zane's older, so he's not happy about it. Basically, he gets frustrated when he's not able to do something well because he is good at a lot of stuff apparently. So he's not very so different people start taking attempts on teaching him how to ride a bike. So one of Willie's first ideas is to have Christian and Jacob teach him because I guess as he put it, basically their intelligence level, I guess maturity level is the closest to that of a child, so that it would work. So he thinks it would work now. I don't know why he just didn't ask John Luke then, if that was the case. And basically, Zane just crashes a lot. And it's what's funny, Willie, like, so you have, he walks into the duck call room where, I guess, Cy, Johnny T, like, that's the guy's name, like, Corey's, like, uh, I can't remember if that's her brother or someone on Corey's side of the family who has lost a lot of weight since the original show. Like, well done to that guy. Then Martin and Godwin are in there, and so Willie's explaining the whole, by like trying to teach him to ride bicycles. Cy says he's only ridden bike once or twice. He prefer a horse, and Willie's like, wait, did you all have horses? And Sai's like, well, other people had horses, and I just took them. And Willie just didn't know how to respond to that. So after Christian and Jacob predictably failed to teach Zane how to ride a bike, Willie tries to, and he basically does something similar to what Jace did for Sadie when it came to like driving the car. So if you remember in Duck Dynasty, I believe it was season two, so when Sadie's preparing for a driver's test, well, attempting to prepare, Jace's idea to help her is to take her to the woods and just let her, let loose with the car, get used to driving and all that, and they get stuck in a ditch briefly. That's kind of similar to what Willie does here. He takes basically Zane to the wood area, has him a bike, gets rid of all the you know the the padding and stuff. I think the helmet stays on. I think the helmet's the only thing that stays. Which also, when I rode a bike when I was younger, or when I rode scooters, I did more scooters than bikes. I I I wear padding. I may have The only time I wore a helmet was when I was riding a bike. When I was riding a scooter, I didn't really wear a helmet a lot. I wore it some, but I would ride a scooter without a helmet a few times. Probably not safe, but safer than doing a bike without a helmet. And so, yeah. And that doesn't work well. So I guess Becca has Corey help her teach Zane. I guess they go to tennis court and do it. I guess Zane will do better at it. So yeah, the whole B plot with the bike ride thing was kind of funny. Like it was funny, just everyone trying, trial and error and trying to teach the kid how to ride a bike. And Willie, like he mentioned how he kind of joked how he said he had been riding bikes since he was like in diapers, and that he said when he was 6, he wasn't riding bikes, he was selling them. I mean, because they were trying to do what they could to survive when they were kids. Like Willie, his brothers, they lived a tough life, you know, and it made them who they are, you know, made them into great men. I mean, they probably all wish they had, more when they were growing up, but they became great men. So yeah, overall, I like this episode. Looking forward to the next one. Rick and Morty season 8, episode 9. So this one, the family's eating pancakes. Jerry was calling about how they seem to be eating pancakes a lot. Then after they finish eating, Summer tells Rick she wants to go to some like alien restaurant with him where there's some cogs that like predict what you want to eat before you're even there. And so they go there. And basically, yeah, then also Morty gets a call from the hospital that saying that Morty Jr.'s in the hospital, so he assumes Morty Jr. is dying because of how he ages. And then so Morty Jr. said, now it turns out that's not the case. So so Morty Jr. then tells him he wants to pay some respect to his mother. So the Gazorpian sex robot that Morty called Gwendolyn. So Morty takes Morty Jr. to a trash portal, where he's basically it's like, well, as Rick called it, the trash moon. So basically, Rick put a bunch of inventions he discards, mostly ones he makes while drunk. A lot of them can talk and stuff, walk around. So basically, walk around trying to find Gwendolyn. They meet some of the other trash, and then they're chased by this, I guess, robot named Salvatron, which like scans stuff to try to find any potential value. in case Rick changes his mind about some of the trash. Yeah, and then while we're going there, then Salvatron tries to kill them, so they end up in this like running down these tunnels, and they end up in this like place called like Garbantium or whatever. Basically, yeah, it's like some weird yeah, basically it's like a city of trash, Garbage-topia or something, like whatever it is, but it's also only compared to the Junk City and Battle Angel Alita. That's actually not a terrible comparison. I mean, I would think Ready Player One's a better comparison, but anyway, so basically, Morty and Morty Jr. They try around. They go to this cemetery where I guess a bunch of sex robots are stored. Honestly, it's not surprising there are a bunch of them. They're there. I'm wondering how many of those were built by Rick. So they find Gwendolyn. Morty, like Morty Jr. pays his respects. And there's like so funny jokes of, hey, guess where Morty Jr. both say that they rank all the women that they had been with. And Morty says that Gwendolyn was top five. Yeah, I guess apparently Morty Jr. has a bunch of paternity lawsuits. And so when Morty Jr. captured by Salvatron, well, no, they're captured by this trash monster thing, and Mortimer admits that no, he's not dying. He just wanted to hang out with Morty so he got material for his next book by a horrible father too, because the first one was the only book he wrote that actually made money. All the other books, which Morty threw into the garbage portal after he read them, well, I don't know if Morty did or Rick threw them in there. Apparently, they end up as scripture for a lot of the garbage people. Um, Morty, so Salvatron chases him and shoots at Morty Jr. The boy runs, and so it turns out Morty Jr. survives because some of the fans that were his fans on there helped patch them up. And apparently he had taken a trash wife. So yeah. So then then back to the cogs. So at the restaurant, Summer's pissed because the precogs were give her avocado toast, while Rick gets like this like I don't know some octopus thing, whatever, some alien tentacle thing. Rick starts enjoying it. Summer's pissed because she was given avocado toast. I mean, then when she goes to complain to the cooks, since they're able to predict anything, they know what she's doing. So the cops are she ends up like attacking them. The cops around the building. Then they all escape, and Rick, Summer, and precogs they go to like this hotel where with a pool. So Rick's like enjoying hanging out with the precogs. Then Summer's like there, and Summer gets pissed. She like drugs all of them and then kidnaps the precogs. And she starts enjoying things with enjoying the chase with the precogs. And then yeah, that was a so then so turns out the whole thing was for the precogs to open a hot dog stand. And Rick gets pissed off, so he dumps the precogs and their food truck into the trash portal, which allows Morty to escape. And then Morty Jr. releases his book, My Horrible Father 2, and Morty's, which kind of annoys Morty. Then, yeah, thought this was funny. I thought this was actually a good episode. It was like it actually kind of felt like old Rick and Morty. So yeah, I thought this was kind of like a good like good Rick and Morty. So, hmm, so yeah, this was actually really kind of more back to color. So I thought this was a good episode. I really like this episode. Looking forward to the next one. Sakamoto Days, episode 13. So in this one, so first we start with a flashback of Wu-Tang telling Shin about how to read the subconscious thoughts instead of just conscious ones, so that he could predict like an opponent's move before the opponent can, and that those like tenths of a second could basically mean their straight life and death. So Shin's able to get the upper hand on Saw, but since it's a very new power, he basically it like wears him out. Then Lou helps save Shin by getting drunk, but it's a different type of drunk, and she drinks like pure ethanol, and she unlocks she becomes like, as Shin calls it, a mafia drunk. So basically, she gets drunk and starts acting like a mafioso. So Shin and Lou defeat Saw, but they fall unconscious. Saw escapes, but when he gets to his taxi near the airport, he's killed by Hugh. Very brutally killed. So Shin and Liu, they wake up and see this assassin association floater cleanup crew, repairing the damage caused by the fight. Which kind of makes sense why law enforcement doesn't get too involved with stuff because there's a cleanup crew. So then at Shrine, Dump attacks Osaragi with spikes coming out of her body. Um, then basically there's like a long fight where we see Dump's past, how she seems to be very similar to the yeah, the Toga from My Hero Academia who like would quote fall in love with people and then try to kill them. That this character seems very similar to that. And then it's implied Dump falls for Osaragi, who also tells Dump she loves her, and Osaragi just cuts her apart with her power saw. After a very long fight, and it's a very entertaining fight, I might add. Like Osaragi just like beat all about like superstitions and praying stuff. Then how he reacts there, it's so funny. The whole ramen scene was funny. Whereas Osaragi is eating ramen at this place because she's superstitious about it. So, Dump, I'm guessing she's dead. I don't know. Then we see Kashima being dismembered by a part. Who's not happy about Slurg be using him. So Apart escapes. Kashima apologizes to Slurg, who he was talking to on the phone. Slurg is fine with it. He's like, maybe it could help, maybe it could be beneficial to let the serial killers like just go wild. So yeah, then minimalist enters Sakamoto's convenience store and approaches Aoi, which I'm sure that's not going to go well because Sakamoto learns about his wife being confronted by a serial killer, he's going to get pissed. So yeah, overall, I really like this episode. The fights were awesome. The animation was great. The visuals, the combat, that was really good. So I really like this episode. Looking forward to the next one. And that's it. Did y'all like the stuff I reviewed? And if you have your own opinions about all that, you can put all that in the comments. Thank you for watching, and like, subscribe, and all that. And look forward to the next video.